So we tell family like, oh yay, here's a picture, like everybody does, and we go
and then
back.
Just kind of give a disclaimer, like he saw some, these dark spots. He thinks it's just fluid, but he wants us to come back next week.
Yeah.
And so ended up coming back next week, and then immediately turning on the ultrasound, and he sees 3.
3.
Yeah, 3. And
3 of those, so some of those spots were actually sacs, but they just weren't visible enough to see. And so we, at that point, were like, oh, there's 3 babies and there's 3 sacs in there. Okay. Didn't expect that today, Lord.
And so now the doctor's like, oh no, this is a high risk pregnancy at this point. Let me pan around and like look around and make sure everything's good and whatnot. And then he pans over and he sees a 4th, and he's just like, whoop.
That's how he says it?
Whoop. Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, whoop. And
4th baby.
He's like, what? He's like, here's another one.
So literally this was like, Adam, this is just, it's like, is this for real? Like, this is for real? Like, this is happening right now inside my body? Like, you're telling me there's 4 little humans that are going to grow in there. And we saw 4 heartbeats and heard the heartbeats, and it was as real as could be, And so.
And at the time, like, I had like this group text going with our family, and like, I'm a very sarcastic person. Yeah. And so whenever I start texting, like the play-by-play of like what we're seeing and all this stuff, none of the family members believe me.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, right. We'll just wait until Danielle can get on here and she can confirm this, because we don't.
We're not having quadruplets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then I finally got on there. I was like, it's for real.
Yeah. And so that appointment obviously turned very serious. The doctor, afterwards, whenever he turned off the machine, he's like, look, at this point, this is very high risk. You're extremely small, and this is one of those things where like this is going to be hard, but also you have 4 babies inside of you right now. They're all competing for nutrients and everything like that. Look, next week whenever you come back, because now you're going to have to come back like every week. And we're going to have to do all these ultrasounds every single week throughout this whole pregnancy. Now that you're confirmed with quadruplets, but don't expect there to be 4 next week. Yeah. And so we're like, oh, okay.
And then we need you to go see this other specialty doctor, the maternal fetal specialist, and you're going to you need to hear about reduction and like all this. And I'm like, you're just overwhelmed by every possible thing that could go wrong, every disease, every malfunction, whatever you can think of is going to go wrong. And the doctor is clear saying, I'm just laying this out for you, cerebral palsy, everything. You might not make it, everything that you can think of. And so he's like, so go home. And so here we are, like, Blake is just like daycare. We both worked full time, and Blake's at daycare, and we just get in the car, and it's like you don't even know what to feel, because it's like you heard this, you saw this.
Well, you're skipping ahead. You're skipping way ahead. So we came back to the appointment a week later, and it was like a super early appointment that morning. So we had to bring Blake with us because we had to leave for the hospital before her daycare was even open. And so obviously we didn't want her seeing everything that was going on inside of this room, Danielle up on the table and stuff.
She's 3, by the way.
Yeah,
at that
she was
point.
3. And so, Danielle's getting up on the table that morning.
Well, what I was going to say was that when we left we literally just prayed in the car on the drive, because we live 20 minutes outside of Houston. And so we were on the way home, and it was just like, we were arguing in a sense, because we're like, what do we do? You can't do this. It's not safe. Yada, yada. You go back and forth all thing. We talked to your dad, and then we were just like praying in the car. And it was just like, Lord, if this is your will, let it be done. Like, we saw the 4 heartbeats. We're just going to pray for them and whatever that means, and, so we just prayed for just health and safety and until that next appointment, and just didn't pray for anything but like, if this is your will, let it be done. And if we saw them, if it's your will for them to survive and make this, and like, this is what we're going to pray for,